in an organic manner. Really the opportunity to be able to think more of a mashup way of presenting culture so that it really resonates with who you're trying to touch. And I think that this is applicable not only to maybe those who are the tastemakers and the leaders in the millennial demographic, but if you're talking with women who in a certain kind of range that have a certain way of communicating, this applies to them as well. If you're talking about ethnic backgrounds, it really is about being able to drill down and understand mindset around communication, not just communication. So we're way, way, way farther advanced than just, like back in the day, the general market ad, the African American ad, the Latino ad, okay, we're done and we can go home. This is about fragmentation on speed. So that is my disruptor number one, members only. Let's move on now to number two quickly. And this is what I'm calling my brother's keeper phenomenon, right? So helping each other, social good, how can we give back? This is becoming a bigger and bigger part of our society, particularly if you're looking at, again, not to overgeneralize, but the millennial demographic. I was asked to speak recently at something called social media for social good. And I was just so kind of overwhelmed with some of the thinking that was not quite contemporary with those in the room from the nonprofit side of things, as well as some of the kind of philanthropic side of brands today, that I decided to write this piece for the Huffington Post called, as you can see, How Millennials Are Disrupting the Art of Donating. And literally to this day, I wrote it, I think at the end of July. To this day, I'm still getting like tweets and retweets on it, which you guys know, like, that's almost unheard of, right? It's interesting maybe for a day or something, and then that's it. In the piece, and you're welcome to Google if you want, but I can summarize here. I'm talking about how and why it's so important, not only for nonprofits to get this, but brands to understand why and how the appeal of social good is so important for those who they're targeting to buy their products. It is part of the lifestyle. It is expected that you, marketer X, are allotting something to give back, but not in that old school kind of way. This is not your grandmother's donating or philanthropy. It's surveys and data show that most people now want to be able to understand where did the money go, how is it used, how are we going to continue the conversation, how can I actually help to be able to work with you to create a solution, right? I'm not just going to give my money blindly. Like, how do we actually really connect on this? This is going to be something that's just going to get bigger and bigger. Why? Let me give you exact statistics. Accenture says that in just a couple of years, there's going to be a $30 trillion wealth transfer between one generation's wealth and another. And so that particular, the newer generation looks at giving its money in a completely different way. And you're not going to be able to get any of it unless you're speaking to them the